So so today in this series of videos, we'll see this Toumai series of videos, one question we have been seeing. So this is a 2023 question. We'll see this question. So it's about, see, when you see this type of question, we will go directly to in this Malinowski and Margaret Mead. So one is actually functionalism and another is actually personality school of thinkers. In the anthropological thinkers, what we will do is that we have to split this into two. See, 20 mark means four pages. So 2 pages dedicated to Malinowski, 2 pages dedicated to Margaret Mead. But now you see it very closely. This question talks about critically discuss the controversies related to the field work of Malinowski and Margaret Mead. It's not talking about critically evaluate the theory. So whatever Malinowski has said or whatever Margaret Mead has said, you will write them in the answer, but what were their methodologies, how they actually had this problem. Then one more thing you should understand is that when I say critically evaluate, see, if I say that there is critically discuss or critically evaluate or critically discuss, if I say like this, that means that there are two views, positive view, negative view. If you find something like this, critically discuss, critically evaluate, or if you find comment, if I give you like this, usually in civil services, you should know that there are two things. Then now come to this point. Then they are saying, then controversies related to field work. So they are talking about what is the problem which happened in the field work, or how was it positive in the field work. You get this idea? So what I'm going, because today we saw Malinowski. So I am going to dedicate, so 2 pages I will see. Next one, when we go for Margaret Mead, maybe I'll complete it. But today, how do you start this question? How do you write this question? So next, first point, see, this students keep missing, and many of the answers I see, they are missing this. First part is actually a very, very concrete definition. Very concrete definition, field work tradition. This is what will give you, you can write, for example, this definition you can write multiple ways. You can actually talk about, I think I have spoke in the class. Field work, you can give a definition of, you can say that it started with, you remember that field work starts with first colonialists. So they going there, you can talk about that also. Colonialist, colonialist and this missionaries. Missionaries in India also they came. So they were the first person to take the information from a particular culture and give it to the European society. But that's also considered as a start of the field work. But you can write this also. You can also talk about how field work starts with Frank Boas. Okay, Frank Boas, this also you can say. The second type is that this is an agreed. So I will actually, more than this, I will agree to this, I will agree to this. Because Frank Boas comes in the next. So we have spoke about classical evolutionism. Frank Boas comes next. Frank Boas was the first person to go to this field. So he will go to Baffin Island, which I will teach, don't worry. Baffin Island, goes there and does all this field work. And then Malinowski starts. So you can write that definition as well. But what is the definition that I need is that in an anthropology, if you can check Ember and Ember, page 26, Ember and Ember is here. Ember and Ember, I so you have it, don't worry. Page 26, fieldwork tradition, participant observation, 2 definitions are given. That is the definition I need. Page 26. See, first hand experience of first-hand experience with the people. Okay, what is a fieldwork tradition? First-hand experience with the people through through participant observation. You get this? This is a definition. This is also a definition. No harm in going to this point. But why I keep on insisting on Ember and Ember is that this definition is given right there. First-hand experience with the people, studying their culture through participant observation, where you observe participant observation, where you observe, question, study the culture. Get this? You are getting this? This is what I have synapsized those two definition into this. Now come to this. The question you should know is that once you are done with this, next students are forgetting, they are directly going into critical evaluation of this. This is fieldwork tradition. One fieldwork tradition I need like this, or this is the definition. Next should be who and all are fieldwork traditional people in the anthropological thinkers. Okay, in the anthropological thinkers, they will be people. So you will have to give that, either two people have been given, Margaret Mead and this. So you can talk about Malinowski. Okay, Malinowski, you have to say which island. I told you, island or the tribe. So you have to say Trobriand Island. Actually, this can be I'll tell you one more method. First, but remember, an answer in a civil services examination has to have this. This practice has to come from the start. You define, then you tell me, who are, then Margaret Mead. Okay. So Margaret Mead, actually, when I teach, I'll teach you. She has written a book called as I forgot the name, Samoa, that is an island. Okay, Samoa is a tribe. Samoa, coming of age in Samoa. Okay, she has written a book. So after in her name, I will write this. Then did I say in the Sahelins, Marshall Sahelins? Marshall Sahelins actually does field work only. Then only he comes up with this substantivist view. Otherwise, you will not know how this tribes have come. So Marshall Sahelins. Next, you should also talk about, for example, there will be a person called as Geets and Turner. Yesterday I was talking Geets, and there is a person. He goes to Bali Island. He goes to Bali Island. Okay. He goes to Bali Island. There is also one more person, Radcliffe Brown. Are you finding? See, Radcliffe Brown, field work. He comes to none other than the place called as Andaman Nicobar. Now you are getting this, a definition, proper definition, a proper introduction should be there. Now I will tell you one more method. See, this can be, okay, this can be, you can draw this, right? You can draw this. If you see, instead of this, okay, instead of this, you can also draw this and name these islands. Samoa, you can name Robert Brown. You can say, see, Bali Island, Geets. Okay, you can have this Brown, Robert Brown, Trobriand Island. Are you getting this? It's the way of you representing. Now you see here, see, we have not even come to the question of critical, but this is a point. First has to be explained. Then come to this point of criticism of the field work of Malinowski. Then next part is that small explanation of what Malinowski is saying. Yesterday, I think we saw theory of needs. Small explanation. You can write it in a passage also. Theory of needs gives rise to, you will have this derivative needs. Derivative needs gives rise to integrative needs. Correct? This is the point that he comes. So you have to see, 1/3, look at this, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, each one third, 2 pages. Now comes this point. Now we have to go for what controversies are there in the fieldwork. In the controversy, la critical evaluation. So first you have to talk about the positives. First you have to talk about, it was a good thing. Positive thing is that now you write it for the first time. See, there was a Taylor, there was a Morgan, or there was not Morgan, leave it, Fraser. They were all called as armchair anthropologists. Correct? They were all called as armchair anthropologists. This person first comes and changes into a participant observation. This is what is the given in the syllabus research, and there is a chapter on research. Participant observation is that you not getting all the information through a secondary source. You directly going and observing them. That's what is called as, that's why, see, critical evaluation, critically discuss means two, positive and negative. Positive is that this one is there. Next also, you can also think about, it is called as the emic and etic approach, which I have not taught you, but it's the view of he is giving the view of the tribes. He is not telling the view of Taylor. He is giving the view of the tribes. So you can say it is cultural relativism also. You get this? Cultural relativism. So explaining one thing. Next, you can go for, in that, he uses other methodologies also, which is called as case study method, which earlier thinkers did not use. Case study method is what is Kula system. What is a Kula system? You need not explain in detail. What is a Kula system? You need not explain in a detail, but you can draw one diagram and explain Kula system. Kula system is a gift hospitality based exchange of goods, where you are not exchange. Tomorrow maybe I'll explain in detail, which I have not done it in the class, but I am saying for answer writing one diagram. So this is how you bring in. So 3 things we have written. Now you say, see, in this what is the, but these are the correct things, but the problems are there. Problems are actually mentioned in Ember and Ember, and the book which I told you, right? The book which is there. In that, Malinowski starts, and the first passages you will find that Malinowski had this, he went there, but he is interpreting that this is how everything operates as a culture based on one small island. So it is an inference that he makes out of a small island as an example. How can somebody say that culture of this world is like this with an inference of small island? You get this idea? This is a problem. Second, the informant. Informant is that, see, Malinowski goes to that place. How does Malinowski know about the particular culture? Is that some person will be there. In some person, you should have this interpretation. So that person, how do you say that that person is the most knowledgeable person in that? You can apply any case study, but how the case study will be effective is that how the informant explains to you. So this is a problem. This is a problem. Next, you will have, next in the book it is given that Malinowski maintained a diary. In that diary, he has spoke about after his death, his wife publishes it. In the book, it is there. In the diary, he has mentioned that he's nauseating, it's troubling, I'm not able to work. That is an experimenter or an anthropologist. When he is under so much of stress, how would he have interpreted everything correctly? This is what is the, see, look at it. Controversies related to the field work. You get this idea? Controversies, we need not go the complete overboard in saying all of them bad, because critical discuss. So an answer writing requires you to write this definition, you to give this point, then small explanation, then you talk about three points. You get this idea? And any other point also you can write. You can, your job now is to go for more thinking in terms of what may be the problem. You can even go for, see, using a substantivist view. You can say that using a substantivist view, today's economic culture cannot be interpreted. The methodology that he adopted in assigning Kula system was, he said that it was Kula system, he said that it's a substantivist thing. That is, they don't consider everything as an economic view. But Anna, you can write, if we use that, we will be, faltering in the society today. That's also a problem. Like this, you have to write. Then you have to go for Margaret Mead. So the answer, see, look at this. The answer will come in a holistic picture. It cannot be in a narrow way of explaining everything about Malinowski, explaining everything about Margaret Mead. No. It should be their methodologies and critical evaluation. For that, no separate book. Same book, interpret with the syllabus. Okay, I think we'll see the rest of the question next week. Thank you.